And good morning, everybody. Hi, and welcome to Casual Coffee with Ken. And it's Monday, and this is a Ken in the Kitchen episode. I hope you're doing well today. Yeah, I hope you had a good weekend. It's kind of a rough weekend here. Well, it's a rough weekend probably everywhere, honestly, for a lot of different cities. Reno was no exception. I'll just say that and leave it at that. I am going to talk a little bit more about that on tomorrow's show. That's not a cooking episode, but just where I talk about news and stuff. So yeah, I'll address that then. But I hope you're well, whatever you're doing. I hope you did manage to do something fun and enjoy yourself over the weekend. Uh, yeah, and today I'm going to be attempting to make potato, egg, and spinach bowls. Well, just one. I'm just going to make one, obviously, but yeah, it's a breakfast dish with eggs, potatoes, and spinach and cotija cheese, and I know it sounds good. It sounds good to me anyway. So hopefully it'll sound good to you too. If you are new here, this is where I'm trying to teach myself how to cook because I have not been uh, cooking. And yeah, yes, this is a TARDIS apron. Yeah, the word police is a little uh, folded under because this is where my microphone is. But yep, it's a TARDIS apron. Uh, so I have no idea where my wife Karina found that, but I received it as a Christmas present one year. I love it. It's fun. So yes, this is the first time the whole conceit of this show is that I'm cooking everything live for the very first time. I don't test any of these recipes ahead of time. I don't think that's in the spirit of the endeavor because I'm just trying to basically document my progress as I try to teach myself how to cook. So, if you're a first time viewer, let me know where you're watching from. I'm always interested in where my audience is located and stuff. Glad you like the TARDIS apron. I don't know if you can see it in the background right there. That's my TARDIS lamp. What's your favorite? Who's your favorite Doctor? I always ask that question when someone expresses an interest in Doctor Who. Let's see. Okay, let's just go ahead and kind of dive in, and let's go over to the first thing. Nicole says my hair looks good. Well, thank you. Yeah, I decide that if there's ever a time to let it grow out, it's during a pandemic. And yeah, so anyway, thank you for that. So this recipe, you can find it on allrecipes.com, and I will go ahead and link to that after the show. So what we need at this point is we've got our potatoes, and I just use, there's these bags of potatoes I've seen at Save Mart here in Reno, called Blushing Bell Little Potato Company, and we love these things. They are great. They're just a good size, and they're good for all sorts of things. So we've got the potatoes. We're also going to be using 3 eggs. We've got half a cup of spinach, which I've already chopped up here. About a quarter cup of parsley. I've also already chopped that up. We've got a quarter pound of breakfast sausage. And then we've got some green onions. And the green onions have been separated. So we've got the whites of the green onion, which are going to be cooking, I think, with the sausage at some point. And then the green part of the green onions is just going to be used kind of as garnish. And then we've got like a quarter of an ounce, I think, of cotija cheese, and then some other toppings as well. So the first step on here is I've got to start microwaving these eggs. No, not the eggs, Ken. I have to start microwaving the potatoes. That's what I have to do. So I've just got just a paper plate. I'm going to put the potatoes on. I've already poked holes in the potatoes, which is what you're supposed to do if you're going to microwave them, I guess. Otherwise, they'd go boom, apparently. So into the microwave, and I'm going to start these. I'm going to check them after about 5 minutes. Hopefully the microwave doesn't mess with the wireless microphone setup. So if the audio goes kind of funny, let me know in the comments. Nicole says that it already looks good. Oh, that's a good indicator. All right, so while the potatoes are cooking, let's go ahead and I can start frying up the sausage. So let me go ahead and gonna turn on my pan to the high end of medium. And I'm not using any kind of oil or anything for the sausage because it's got plenty of oil in there. At least that's what it seems like to me. So yeah, but I'll just start browning it there, and then you're going to notice there's some deviations between the recipe on allrecipes.com and what I'm doing here. So I'll try to point those out as we get to those things. So while I'm waiting for the pan to heat, I can start kind of mixing up beating my eggs. And it just says whole eggs, so this is just essentially like making scrambled eggs, I guess. And I know people, if you watch any of the cooking shows, they tell you not to cook the egg on the side of a bowl or anything, but honestly, that's my preferred way of doing it. And I have yet to have any problems with getting, shells or the like, anything the like in there. And so now and this isn't in the recipe, but I always add just garlic powder, just a couple sprinkles of that into my eggs. Not too much, of course. And then the recipe also calls for 1/8 of a teaspoon of chili powder. I'm just going to eyeball it, kind of sprinkle some in there. And a couple of grinds of pepper. There we go. And then I'll just kind of use my fork here. I do have a tiny whisk, but I just feel like a fork would be good in this instance. So how are you guys doing today? Anybody do anything fun over the weekend? We watched a movie this weekend. What did we watch? We watched Teen Titans Go to the Movies. I had actually gone to the theater to see it. Karina had missed it though, and so we watched it for her. It was pretty enjoyable. Teen Titans Go is a very divisive cartoon because apparently there was a cartoon all with the same voice actors called Teen Titans that people just loved, and then it pretty much got canceled without resolving the cliffhanger. And then when it did came back as Teen Titans Go, which is an entirely different thing. Okay, so we've got the eggs. And let's see here. What am I supposed to add? Got that. Okay, so I can leave the eggs alone. Let's go back over to the pan. It should be warm enough now, so I think I can start and just add in the sausage here. And this is nothing fancy, it's just Jimmy Dean sausage. And, excuse me, the idea is to brown it, so Karina told me to just leave it alone. Okay. So while that's browning, I'm going to go ahead and check my potatoes here and see if they are done. Oh yeah, the knife goes in there without any resistance. So these are microwaves, so these are good. I can set them aside for now. So has anybody else taken up learning how to cook during this whole quarantine thing? Because I figured I just wanted to learn, you know, because Karina does all the cooking in our house, and I just do all the cleanup. Sorry, um, got a little bit of vertigo here. I am on a couple of different medications for my anxiety and depression, and sometimes the side effects are interesting. I'm also dealing with some brain fog issues because of that, so I apologize if I seem like I'm taking longer to do this than normal. Let's see how the sausage is going. Second. Second. Kind of flip this over here so it gets browned all over, not just on a couple of sides. Yeah. Come on. There we go. Eh, over. You get over. Get over now. Come on. Seriously, you guys. Turn over. Okay. Got it. There we go. This feels like it might be a little high, so I'm turning the heat down just a smidge. Let that continue to brown. So yeah, this is kind of a simple recipe, all things considered, I think. The most time it seems to take is actually just the browning of the sausage, because eggs cook very quickly. As you probably already know that, because I imagine most people who watch this are much better cooks than I am. But yeah, eggs seem to cook very quickly. So the thing that takes the most time is the microwaving of the potatoes uh, and the sausage. And if you're using the smaller potatoes like this, um, it only takes about 5 minutes. Another thing that I noticed, because Karina pointed it out to me, is that the recipe that I'm basing this off of, which is over at allrecipes.com, they allow you to change the serving amount for the recipe. and it'll then tell you the appropriate amounts of ingredients based on how much of it you're cooking, which is great. That's really cool. I like that. Okay, this is starting to look pretty well browned, I think. That one could use a little bit more time, maybe, but okay. So I think what I'm just about ready to do is I'm going to take all of the sausage out of the pan. I'm going to reduce the heat. Just going to move this off to the side on a plate. I'm going to take that off the heat so it can cool down a little bit. Whoops, wrong thing. Now this is one of the primary deviations from the recipe on allrecipes.com is that I am going to, I'm going to slice up the potatoes in half and then I'm going to fry them in the pan that I just cooked the sausage in. Let's go ahead and do that. Hot potatoes. Oh, that one's a little squishy. All right, he can stay whole. These are really tasty potatoes too, guys. I highly recommend you check them out. Okay, so those are split. I'm going to go ahead and put them in the pan now. I'm going to put them in there cut side down. Down. Get down. Just kind of do that with that guy. Nah. There. All right. So now we've got the potatoes. I'll turn the heat back up to the low end of medium. And then let me consult the recipe. No, Kim, bring that back. Okay. Consult the recipe further. So we've got the potatoes are going to brown a little bit. We've done the sausage, so that's good. The egg has been beaten, stirring. I already beat all the ingredients together for that. While the sausage is cooking, I did all that. That's already done. So basically at this point, I'm going to wait for the potatoes to brown a little and get a little bit crispy. Not too much, of course, but just a little bit crispy. And then I will reintroduce the sausage, bring the heat back up a little bit, and then put the egg mixture in there. So. All right, this is going much better than I expected because I am so brain foggy today with my meds. But yeah, not too bad here. Oh, we also finished the first season of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix. That is a really good show. If you've watched it, then you know how good it is. If you haven't watched it, you should be watching it. Nicole, you should watch it. It's definitely fun. It's definitely good. Okay, I think the potatoes are getting close to being crispy. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's coming along. Can let it go a little bit longer, I think. So I should double check and see when I have to add the cheese here. Okay, the cheese just comes at the very end after we've removed everything from the heat. And then the green onions. Oh shoot, I forgot to add the white part of the green onion to the mix, so I'm going to do that right now. See, even when the recipe is all written down, I can still forget stuff. All right, we'll just cook up the onions with the potatoes. That should be okay. Because uncooked onions in this would not be a lot of fun, I don't think. And as usual, after the show's over, I will post a link to the recipe on allrecipes.com, and I'll try to include also in the description kind of the parts that were different that I did that don't follow the recipe, line for line, in case you were interested and want to try it yourself. And, from the smell of this, I think you're going to want to try it. Let's see. Wednesday is going to be another Ken in the Kitchen episode, and on Wednesday I'm going to be trying to make a version of a French bread pizza. So we'll see how that goes. It's not going to be on French bread though. Okay, I think this is probably pretty good. So I am going. Oh wait, all right. Let me check the recipe one more time and see. Okay, so I will add the eggs in. Should I add the eggs or should I remove? What did Karina say? I guess I can just go ahead and dump the eggs in at this point. We'll find out. So I will reduce the heat. A little bit here, because eggs cook very, very fast. Okay, now I'm going to take that off the heat. And I will add in the spinach and just kind of mix that in and and let it wilt. You guys, this smells so good. I can't even tell you how good this smells. Yeah, I'm glad I took this off the heat because otherwise eggs are going to overcook. Okay, so I've done that. I will go ahead and add back in the sausage. Try to break that sausage up a little without destroying the potatoes, because you want the potatoes to retain their shape here at this point. And I think that's it. Turn that off here. And let's go back over to the prep area. I will put that there. And now you're just supposed to put some of it in a bowl. Easy enough to do, I guess. I don't like this spatula for that, though. Let me see if I can grab... This will probably work a little better. Oh, break that sausage up there. Okay. Did I get some potatoes in there? I think I got a couple of potatoes. Okay, so got that. And now you're supposed to add some of the cotija cheese on the top of it. And more cheese, more better. That's the motto I live by. Cotija cheese smells great. Reminds me quite a bit of feta. Oh man, that smells good. Okay, and then you put a little bit of the green onion at the end for kind of like a garnish. And the other optional ingredient that I'm going to go with here is a little bit of salsa. Now, my normal brand of salsa, my preference is Pace. They did not have Pace, so I'm just using some La Victoria. So I'm just going to spoon a little bit of that over it. And then just a bit of sour cream, and we use the Daisy Light. Just a little dollop of sour cream, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, this does not look the best, I know. Sorry. My noob skills are not up to the prettiest plating ever, but there we go. Actually, let me bring it over to the other camera here. See if I can show it off to you. Here, let's try this. I'm gonna get a good shot for you guys somewhere here. Here we go. Ta-da! So there it is. Eggs, sausage, potatoes, spinach, green onion, salsa, and some sour cream. And now, let's go ahead and mix it up and try a bite. Ah, wish me luck. It's probably going to need salt. Where's the salt shaker? There's the salt shaker. we go. Salt. I want to get a bite with a potato, with egg, with sausage. It's still plenty hot. See the steam coming off it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There is nothing to complain about here. For the sausage, I use just regular spicy Jimmy Dean sausage, and you can definitely taste that. The eggs are fine. The eggs are good, actually. They didn't overcook. I was worried that I was going to overcook it. The potatoes came out good. I think if I wasn't doing this on a live stream and didn't want to completely bore you guys, I would have let the potatoes go a little bit longer and brown a little more so they were just a little bit crispier. Mm. They're still great. They microwaved perfectly in the microwave oven. Only took 5 minutes in ours. Your mileage is going to vary depending on the wattage of your microwave. The green onion is great. The spinach is perfect in this. It really needs it. And adding it in at the very last minute just to kind of wilt it worked great. Mm. This is so good. And I heartily endorse the use of salsa and sour cream, but go easy. Don't use too much of either. Um, just like a couple tablespoons of sour cream and maybe 1 tablespoon of the salsa. Otherwise, it would get really watery, and I think it would it would water down all the other flavors. And these eggs are really good eggs. They're the kind that when you break them open, they're pretty yellow. They're almost orange. That's usually a good sign for how tasty your egg is going to be. Mm-hmm. Do this. And again, the frying of the potatoes is optional. It's not part of the recipe. I will post everything online this afternoon. So look for the recipe to be in the description, probably around 1 o'clock this afternoon. And yeah, that's it. We have reached the end of this episode. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. It was nice to see some new faces here this morning. Sean, glad you made it for the end of it here. But yeah, this is a really easy dish, even for a kitchen noob such as myself. So I encourage you to make it. If you have any suggestions for recipes you'd like to see me try on the show, leave those down in the comments as well. And yeah, I appreciate everybody spending their Monday morning with me. And if you had fun, do the like and subscribe thing on YouTube. And also on Facebook, if you happen to be watching on Facebook right now. If you're on Periscope, not sure what you do over there, but thanks for being here anyway. And I will see you guys tomorrow for a regular Casual Coffee with Ken episode. We're going to talk a little bit about this weekend and all the stuff that went on over the weekend. And then on Wednesday, another Cooking with Ken, Ken in the kitchen, where I'm going to try a version of French bread pizza without the French bread. So that'll be fun. Thank you for being here. Be good to yourself, be kind to yourself, and be kind to other people. And just stay safe, stay healthy. I will see you all tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. All right, take care, everybody.